Hello and welcome back to LUKE-N-SHAE'S place. So glad you can stop by. I hope you're wearing your smile. Hope you're ready for another video. I have a great video planned for you guys. But before I begin, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and put my video in the algorithm so that other viewers can find us. Put us in that algorithm. Hit that like button. Don't be shy. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section. Put a heart or give us some feedback and we'll be glad to reply. And go ahead and share the video. Subscribe is 100% free. Click that notification bell so that you get notified when Luke and I will be posting our content. So I have a video planned for you guys, and I do videos here and there just to check up on what the Karens and Kevins are out here doing. This specific one that I have is a playground Karen. Not so nice, but she's rewarded for her bad behavior. We're going to check that out because she's been circulating with a lot of people talking about her. A lot of people, she's getting popular. Let's just say that. Not only that, but she's getting broke off. People are actually sending her money for her bad behavior. So let's check this out and see what's going on. Let's get an update on this woman. This bully, we should say. Let's dive into it. Okay, so before I begin the video, again, go ahead, if you haven't already, click that like button. Thank you so much for those who have been helping us grow our platform. We appreciate your subscriptions. And make sure you're clicking that like button. A lot of times we'll watch videos and we'll just be so quick to move on to a next one. But just remember, in order to put people's video like Luke and my video into algorithms so that way other viewers can see us, clicking that like button is so important. So go ahead and do that. And also, any videos that we're sharing, just look in that description section and you'll be able to get that information. This video is coming from, let me see, I believe, oh, okay, Indisputable with Dr. Rashad. Go check it out if you want to see what he has going on over there. Great information. I love checking them out. So go over there and check them out sometime. And that's the information. It'll be in the description section. But we're going to dive right into this. Let's see what this playground Karen is up to and why she's being rewarded for her bad behavior. Let's go.
Remember the story we covered of the white female who called a child the N-word? She goes viral, raises hundreds of thousands of dollars by all of the other bigots in the United States of America. Well, Piers Morgan had a panel on Playground Karen. I'm going to remind you of the incident and show you what happened on Piers Morgan. Here it is.
You call him a child? Call the child? It is my own business. You call him? Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Say.
Horrible, right? Just straight up horrible. Just trashy in every way. So for those who haven't heard the story, if this is your first time hearing this story, the actual story of the playground Karen, she was calling a black, I think it was a 5-year-old actually, a child on the playground, the N-word. Okay. Apparently she's saying that this child took one of her kids' toys or something on the playground. So it said that the child touched or took her child's stuff. That's what she said. So, but we'll hear more because it also came out that this child, there might have been, I believe, it's a little autistic. But, you know, you just can never assume. And there's other ways that this could have been handled if that was the case, you know. But this, going about it this way is ridiculous. And I just want to say also, there's a lot of back and forth, you know. And I know a lot of people has been hearing different things. Okay, a lot of tit for tat. And, you know, just want to say that that's never a good thing, guys. Okay, oh, well, oh, they're doing this now. Oh, we're going to do this. So, oh, you know, and I know someone let me know, I had a couple people say that this Karen has raised a lot of money from people who were supporting her, because they were saying, oh, well, we're going to send for her money because another situation happened over here with another incident. And there's GoFundMe's being, you know, people are raising money with that. So you have a lot of back and forth and a lot of tit for tat, and none of this is good. It's just bitter. It's sour. And all it's doing is basically empowering people like this to just be ignorant. That's all it's doing. It's just empowering people. I don't care what color you are. Ignorance is just never the best thing to do. This right here is uncalled for. You're being a whole bully to a child, but let's go. Let's see more. But at the end of the day, what is all this back and forth? People are getting hurt. There's people losing their life that wasn't even involved in some of these incidents, and it's what good is it at the end of the day? Let's watch more here.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna.
You know, that's the hate speech.
Yep, that is hate speech. Put it up full mass. She accuses a 5-year-old child of theft, which, by the way, not even possible. No mens rea attached, no formulation of criminal intent, etc. Last week, we shared a story featuring this individual who was caught on camera calling a little child.
I'm clapping for the person who was actually confronting her about this. The person who heard her say this to the 5-year-old child, and they were not just letting her walk away like it didn't happen. And the sad part about this playground Karen, you're doing this in front of your child. You're holding your child and you're being just nasty. That's what you're being. You're being nasty in front of your own child. And what that then creates is a cycle of this happening over and over again. Because your child, if that's how you talk, your child's going to grow up to be just like you. And this cycle will never end. You'll have this racism that just stays here. And it's not going to go nowhere. Okay, with all the stuff that's going on, all the craziness, it's like every day there's something, right? You got people talking about this statue in New York. What's up with that? Okay, that's a whole nother podcast, but I don't even want to get into that. But you just have so many things. It's just degrading things. People that are saying words that are degrading, and the person who is actually the word that she's saying would be her, because she's ignorant. You're going to bully a little 5-year-old at a playground. The best thing would have been, okay, who's the child there with? You don't know. You don't know what any situation. It's a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old. Okay. Hey, whose kid is this? Hey, I just want you to, wow, yeah, so that's my son or that's my daughter. So just wanted you to, something. You don't know what people are, you don't know what anybody has or whatever the case might be. You can't just be out here assuming. And your first thing to do was to be ignorant and just call a child a name. Be a bully. That's the best way. Okay, good job, Karen. Great job.
Child, the N-word on a Minnesota playground. Now, Mark Lamont Hill pops off on Piers Morgan for inviting white former TikToker who went viral for saying the N-word to say the racial slur on his show. I'm going to show it to you now.
Unashamedly, and you will
go on then, say it. Say the
will not.
Go on, say the N-word. Go on.
No.
Don't invite. No. No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, you and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do.
I mean, I can't fault him for feeling that way. You invited her on this panel, and whatever he was trying to get out, I believe he was going to call her out on her ignorance. I believe there's a video, the full video. You can actually look that up for him, Piers Morgan, and see him actually going in on her about that. But in the same breath, you have a panel of people here, and you're inviting her to go ahead and say it. However, you could have still made your point without trying to get her to say it on the panel. She clearly says she's unapologetic for what she did, what she said, so she doesn't care, and she's blowing up about it. She's gone viral over this, and so it's just crazy. And he's lashing out because no, I wouldn't want to sit there and hear her say that. We're going to sit here and empower. You're empowering her. She's smiling like it's nothing. She could care less. She could care less. She's becoming famous over this. That's exactly what's happening.
But we already know I hear you. I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah. You should accept it, Piers. You should have apologized immediately, recognized your wrongdoing, sir. Put it up, full mass. Let's keep that panel up. So, Piers Morgan invites a racist human being on the program and then challenges that racist human being to do what racist human beings do. Do it. Do it on my show. Yes, do it. We already know you do it. It's ridiculous. It doesn't respect the panel. It's not a professional conversation. It's not a good faith debate. And our dear brother, Professor Hill, is correct. When the professor pauses, now you're inviting me to.
I agree with that 100%. If you're going to have her on the panel and you're going to have a discussion is one thing. You're going to discuss, hey, what's your side? Because, okay, we're looking at this happen. We clearly see you are acting a certain way at the playground. Now, if you want to discuss it, okay, you're on the panel. Here you are. But to have her, try to have her say the word on the panel, no. That definitely wasn't a good move there, but I'm glad that he said he could understand this. The other gentleman that was lashing out, he could understand. Okay, my bad. Yeah, not a good thing. But it's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on today. You got too much crazy stuff going on, and people are just sitting back loving this. And let's just get into this. I want to see what the amount of money she has so up to now. I forget what it was a couple days ago. Let's see what the amount is if they're going to talk about that. Let's hear more.
To be a victim of her racism on your show. That should never happen. And Piers Morgan would have never posited to do this for any other group other than Black folk. Believe that. So the update, and big ups. Thank you, dear brother, for saying exactly what you said. Update, she has now received over 700,000. Okay, ridiculous. Now, Black web developer who pushed to shut down.
$700,000. Rewarded for her ignorance on a playground towards a 5-year-old child. A 5-year-old Black child. you received $700,000. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. So now, okay, a country that was so against bullying because we've seen so many things happening and the results of bullying, and it's not good, right? We're so against it in our children's schools and everything, workplaces, but we're going to sit here and empower this woman for her ignorance on a playground. She's getting rewarded. Like, you guys are sending her money for this. You can't make it up. You can't make this up. I'm just like, I can't. Sometimes I have to pinch myself because I'm like, am I awake? Is this a dream? This can't be real, right? This is like stuff you can't fathom happening.
Seriously feel like I've entered the Twilight Zone. $700,000 for bad behavior? Really?
You can't make it up. Just definitely can't make this up at all. Can't make it up.
On Shiloh Hendricks' fundraiser, man behind our video gets a barrage of death threats as parents of black child speaks out. In the video that started it all, filmed by 30-year-old Sharmaik Omar in a Minnesota public park, Hendricks admits calling a young Somali child the N-word because, quote, he took my son's stuff. She then goes on to repeat the racial slur multiple times before seemingly justifying her actions during the recorded confrontation with Omar. Despicable behavior by this woman, by this adult. Despicable. Everyone would agree. Except racist people. Omar told NBC News that the child is on the autism spectrum and that the parents, whom he knows, have expressed support in filing charges.
That's sad right there. See? I thought I heard that. So the child is on the autism spectrum. This woman is in the park bullying this child. You don't know this child. That's, so not even purposely, if the child is out here touching your child's things or whatever the case might be. And even, it's a 5-year-old. It's a 5-year-old. That's a 5-year-old child regardless. Okay? So to me, that's just overboard. What she did was overboard. It was unnecessary. It should have never happened. Shame on her and shame on the people who are sending her this money. Like she's just Superwoman doing this. This is like great. You guys are sitting back laughing about this. It's sad. Like I said, all this tit for tat stuff that people are doing now, and oh, you guys are sending GoFundMe's here, so we're gonna do this here. And what? This is what our country is now. This is what we represent here, right? This is what it is. This is just, we're just gonna keep this going. It's sad. This is a child. And you guys are happy that she did this over a child, a 5-year-old. Now imagine if that's your grandchild. Let's turn the table. Imagine that's your grandchild being bullied on a playground with an adult doing it, okay? I don't care what color. Imagine that being your grandchild or your child. And your back is turned and your child is playing with some friends, and all of a sudden this adult is saying some harsh words to your child on the playground. Come on. This is ridiculous.
Is against Hendricks. A local chapter of the NAACP has raised more than $300,000 for the family since the video went viral. Rochester Police, meanwhile, say they completed an investigation of the incident, though it's not clear what, if any, criminal charges Hendricks
Okay, so that I'm glad to see that for the family. They had let me see, the NAACP has raised more than 300,000 for the family since that video went viral. So I'm glad that they're helping with this family as well, because I mean, it's sad. It is. That shouldn't have happened at all. It shouldn't have. But it's just crazy that you can be rewarded now. This is what it is. Being rewarded for bad behavior. This is the times we're living in. We are living in these times. And it's really sad.
May face. Now, some of you may say, well, it's covered by free speech. Not so fast. There's a statute. Let's take it to the state of Georgia for a moment. There's a state statute that says if you use profanity in front of a minor, you can be charged with a misdemeanor offense. Child abuse. Okay? It doesn't say how many times you have to utilize that particular profane language. It doesn't really qualify what is profane and what is not. It's kind of up to the authorities to decide. There's more. Omar also faced death threats for exposing Miss Hendricks. Quote, "I'm not a man with a lot of words." This is the first time I've spoken in front of people. But that didn't stop me from protecting that child, end quote. He said during a town hall Wednesday night in Rochester, quote, "Right now, I am being punished. I have death threats against me online, phone calls, and my information has been leaked on."
This is serious. This person was defending a 5-year-old child at a park. And you guys are out here sending death threats to this person. You guys are out here threatening a person. Oh, because he called out a Karen in the park. You guys rather had Karen just say what she was going to say, right? It's okay for that to happen. Because you know why? Why does it matter, right? This is something that's been going on for centuries, right? Oh, what's another little brown kid getting called the N-word gonna do? This is something they've endured this for a long time. What does it matter? It's not gonna hurt nothing. But this woman now, you're gonna affect her job, or if she has a job, or whatever the case might be. She's holding her child. Oh, poor Karen. So you guys are going to then get upset with the person who actually, and I believe his name was Omar. Omar spoke up for this child. He was the voice for this child. And again, I'm clapping for you, Omar, no matter what ignorance people are out here sending you, and shame on the people that are leaking information for this person. Come on. This is crazy. Sad.
Online as well. Yep, been there. There's more. Jacob Wells, co-founder of Give, Send, Go, a Christian fundraising platform where Hendricks launched her, quote, defense fund, told Piers Morgan, quote, she might have some racial animus, but wouldn't call her a racist. He defended potentially making Hendricks a millionaire based on her racist outbursts, arguing that the site is about redemption, not cancel culture.
What? Jacob Wells, co-founder of Give, Send, Go, a Christian fundraising platform where Hendrick was launched her defense. I had to read that again. So this is a Christian fundraising platform defending her, saying, hey, I wouldn't be calling her a racist. He's defending her. She might have some racial thing, but I wouldn't call her a racist. Really? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know, ironic, isn't it? It's about redemption. Christian platform. I wonder how much of the percentage of those donations does your Christian platform receive for the administrative fee to handle that much money? Just a question. But if you're doing this all for redemption, and this is a redemption site, understand what redemption is. It means to redeem. You cannot redeem if you have not acknowledged the need for redemption in the first place. So without an acknowledgement, a full throttle acknowledgement, repentance is what your Bible would call it. Without that, redemption has to be sought by the individual, and it is not something that is simply given by a company. So let's stop the immature conversation of redemption or the falsity of your Christianity. This is a business decision, and you know good and damn well it is. Put up this sister full mask.
Facts.
Now, Keandria Demon is working to make sure she never sees a sin. Keandria Demoni, an entrepreneur and activist based in Atlanta, Georgia, with a growing online platform, has become known to, in her own words, bully racists off the internet or to stop doing whatever it is they've done. Quote, I was initially looking for things that were red flags as far as their compliance as a company. She told the Griot during a recent phone interview, quote, I started thinking like, this isn't going to be enough because they're just going to fix it and they're going to keep operating, end quote. The 33-year-old social media disruptor has launched an effort to prevent Hendricks from receiving any money from her campaign on GiveSendGo, which has netted over 600,000 up to 700,000. The ask has since been increased to 1 million by the racist woman. By directing her nearly 50,000 followers and all who want to help put pressure on the fundraising platform and payment processor by making complaints, she hopes to hold them accountable for profiting off of hate. I encourage you to look up Miss Keandria, follow her, and do likewise. We cannot allow this to go unchecked. All right, Yasmin, thoughts here.
Yeah, I love how Piers Morgan loves to portray himself as the adult in the room on these panels. Like he's just the moderator trying to get to the real truth of the matter, as if the real truth in this particular case isn't completely obvious. Meanwhile, look at the panel that he assembled. He knew what he was doing when he put all these people together on one panel. When he invited a woman who takes pride in being a white supremacist and saying the N-word, and a man, the aforementioned Uncle Tom, who wrote a book about how women deserve less. And he put them all in the same panel to discuss the ethics of a white woman calling a child the N-word. I honestly don't know why the right is so obsessed with this story, because it makes them look bad. In defending this woman, they're embracing the thing that they try all the time to pretend not to be about. So now, the only narrative they have to fall back on is that they're against cancel culture. To be fair, some right-wing commentators, they have tried to distance themselves from this story, because as much as they can pretend that the people donating to this woman are doing so because they believe in free speech, the comments on her donation page say otherwise. They're overtly racist. They're racist people.
Yeah, so that's what I was hearing as well, that the comments on that page for the people that are donating, because they tried to say, oh, it's for free speech, freedom of speech, but the comments are showing otherwise, showing a whole bunch of racy comments are telling it all, right? That's exactly what it is. They're supporting her because they love what she did. They love it. they're all for this hate. That's what it is. And like I said, it's just, the hate's just being recycled. This story here, and let's do this, and let's do that. And like I said, there's just so much going on. And wow. Oh, wow. Let's watch more. Let's finish this up.
People who are supporting a woman who they identify as one of themselves. And you can't call a child the N-word without being a racist. You just can't. You wouldn't do something like that if you were not a racist. You just wouldn't think to do it. So the fact that we're even debating that is ridiculous. It's exhausting. We don't need to have this discussion.
Okay, so we're going to end it right there. That was definitely interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that was something. Not a pleasant story. Not a pleasant story to share. It's just a shame that this is going on out here, and to a 5-year-old child, and the person who is being praised for it is the Karen in the park, who is a mother at that. She's a mother. And she just wants to go around bullying little 5-year-olds. That's basically being praised. It's being praised. Her ignorance and the N-word that came out of her mouth, it's being praised. $700,000 being raised. And then the Christian group that is defending her with this. This is sad. This is some sad times we're living in. That's basically it. I really don't have anything else to say about this, because it's unfortunate. And like I said, with all this recycling hate going back and forth, the tit for tat, there's lives that are actually being lost for people who had nothing to do with some of these incidences, and it's not good. It's not. There's people hurt, people aren't properly mourning. It's because people are doing too much. And how can you not be upset to see someone getting paid for their ignorance toward a child? It's sad. It is. And I can say we need to do better, people, but, you know, is it going to matter with me saying that? Is that going to change anything? Because the change starts within yourself. And when you're seeing this many people just pay out of pocket, like, yeah, wow, this is scary. These are your neighbors. These are people that you pass by in the supermarket. These are people that you probably wave to and speak to and talk to over the fence, that are actually donating to these people, because behind their closed doors, they're actually clapping for this type of ignorance. And it's a shame. It is. Well, I'm going to end the video right there, guys. I hope you have already clicked the like button. If you haven't already, go ahead, go down there and click that like button before you exit out of this video. And I want you to know, at LUKE-N-SHAE'S place, we want you to know that your mental health is important. A positive mentality is a destined reality. Wear your smile. Stay positive. Stay focused. You know, with all that's going on in the news, I know I get to update you with some things that's going on, and I try to keep you aware, but don't binge watch the stuff. You know, at the end of the day, try to watch something positive. Try to do something positive. Go out, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the sunshine, but wear your smile. And again, a positive mentality is a destined reality. Stay blessed. Until next time, take care.
Praise Jesus, mighty name.